You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. We're Holly and Laura, besties since birth, cleaning business owners, multi-passionate doers, and founders of the Hustle Haven, a modern business education and networking collective built for fellow entrepreneurs who crave growth, support, and real connection. Now, we're your go-to girlies for the real side of entrepreneurship. We're covering wins, fails, and the messy middle. So come on in and let's talk branding, booking, burnout, and everything in between. If you're in serious need of tips, tea, total transformation, and that let's freaking go energy, you're in the right place. Grab your earbuds, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of the Hustled Up Podcast. I am your host for today, Laura, and not to worry, Holly's just fine. It's just like we said last time, we are so booked and busy that she did have to step into the field this morning, so she's not in office, but we didn't want to skip again. We wanted to stay consistent for you guys. So here I am, and I have a super fun and kind of a little bit juicy topic for you. I'm going to be talking about price objections because let's be real. If you're in any kind of service-based business, chances are that you have had to deal with price objections in your life, and they can be really disheartening. I know for myself, I used to get super, super offended when people would object to my price, and I'm not going to lie, I still kind of feel that way once in a while, but I have developed some tools and tricks on how to handle price objections and even how to turn a price objection, a no, into a yes. So we're going to cover all of that today. So if that hits home for you, stay tuned.
If you own a home service business and you are struggling to juggle quotes, invoices, client reminders, communications across every single platform, the works, you need to stop what you're doing and listen to me right now. Jobber has been keeping my business running smooth for years. I swear by it, and I need to tell you all about it. From managing 11 technician schedules to invoicing to automated client reminders and so much more, Jobber makes my life easy. This CRM has allowed me to truly work on building my business while keeping everything organized instead of chasing down paperwork. And here's the best part. As an official Jobber brand partner, I know I am still freaking out over this myself. I have a code that is going to not only get you a 14-day free trial, but 20% off for 6 months. Just head on to go.getjobber.com/Holly. Again, that's go.getjobber.com/Holly to claim your savings. There are multiple plans to choose from that support a multitude of business sizes and budgets. So what are you waiting for? Get your business organized and get ready to scale with ease with Jobber. Again, that's go.getjobber.com/Holly. Do it today. You will not regret it. I promise.
Okay, so we're back and we are talking all things price objections because let's be real, and this is what gets me so upset. I'm just going to start off by being on my soapbox. Nobody is walking into the Coach store or Michael Kors or even Walmart and saying, excuse me, this Coach bag is $350, but I only want to pay $20 for it. Can I? No, that would be crazy. You never see people doing that with brick and mortar stores. But for some reason in the service-based industry, people really think and feel the need to tell you what you should be charging. And nothing grinds my gears more than this. But again, I have developed some tools and tricks. So I'm going to share all of that with you guys today. And first, I want to kind of just talk about your mindset when it comes to price objections a little bit, because I do think that a big mistake that people make, it is the number one mistake people make, is they deal with price objections and their natural trigger gut instinct is to lower the price. And that is, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that for so many different reasons, which I will go over. But mostly, you're kind of teaching people, if somebody objects to your price, and your trigger instinct is to lower that price, what you're teaching people is that your price actually was not worth that. There's no value there. You're literally devaluing your product or service when you are lowering your price just because somebody objected to it. Like, you would not change a policy you had just because one person objected to it, or at least I would hope you wouldn't. You wouldn't change one of your employee protocols because, for example, for us, our employees need driver's license. But let's say somebody comes in for an interview and say, I think that's stupid. I don't think you should need a driver's license. I'm not going to change my whole policy around driving and hiring employees. So why do so many people do that when it comes to the price? And I think the reason is because it's scary. It hurts. Like for me, I know I've dealt with all kinds of price objections. Being the salesperson for Chores and More for so many years, I dealt with all kinds of price objections. And some people are really, really nice when they object to your price. And then some people are really, really mean. I mean, I've dealt with people laughing, like straight up laughing when I say the price. I've dealt with people cutting me off mid sentence and going, oh my God, that's ridiculous. I got called a thief the other day. Someone straight up said, "You're robbing people." And I was so highly offended by this. It was actually a cleaning for a reason patient that we had already provided 2 free cleanings to, and then she wanted a quote for recurring service, and she told me that I was a thief. So that stung a lot. So I say all this and I bring up all this mindset stuff because it's hard. Dealing with price objections is really, really hard. It hurts. You start to second guess yourself. You start to think, are my prices not worth it? And you kind of give into that. So the first thing you want to do is don't lower your price. Now, I'm not saying that you can't give coupons, you can't run sales, you can't give discounts, you can't bless people with free cleanings. That's fine. I'm not saying that. But don't lower your price as a reaction to somebody telling you that your prices are too high. That is first and foremost. And there are all kinds of reasons why people might object to your price. Maybe they don't understand the value that you're offering. Maybe they've had the same service or similar service for cheaper in the past. Maybe they're comparing apples to oranges. Like I know, for example, in our area, there are so many cleaning companies. It's a very saturated market that charge way less than we do. That's just a fact. That's the truth. But we're not offering the same thing. We're not offering a lot of these companies that do charge less. They're not bonded. They're not insured. They're not providing their own cleaning products. So it's like comparing apples to oranges, but the clients don't know that. They're just seeing in their mind cleaning service versus cleaning service. Maybe they're not your ideal client. Maybe they really don't value cleaning. They don't value it and they value price and they're just not your ideal client. So it's good to know that there are so many reasons why somebody might object to your price. And sometimes it really is that they just can't afford it. This is what they had budgeted for your service. Maybe they lost a job. Maybe they would rather spend money on XYZ. Sometimes literally they just can't afford it. And that's okay. It happens. People value all different types of things. Some people spend a ton of money getting their nails done where, they would rather spend money on that than a cleaning service. Some people, the cleaning service is the number one thing. Like they're like, I will give up everything in my life to not have to clean on my weekends anymore and have that time back. So it really just depends on what people value and where they want to spend their hard earned cash. So I think it's really important to know the different reasons because from there, it is your job not to get defensive, but to educate. When price objections do come in, and they will happen, and I will tell you for a fact, if you're listening to this episode and you're like, price objections, I never got price objections. I have 100% close rate. You're leaving money on the table. You are 100% charging too little. And I'm not saying charge astronomical prices. That's another really important point I want to make. You want to shop your market. You want to make sure that your prices are fair. So once you do get that price objection, from here, it's really, really, really easy to get defensive. I know that I used to get so defensive. I would over explain. I would get like a little like snappy, like yappy chihuahua. I would be like, well, this and that. Like I would get so upset and so defensive and over explain why we're expensive and get really, really defensive. And that's just not a good look. You don't want to get defensive. Instead of getting defensive, you want to educate the client because maybe they just don't know. Maybe you do say that price and it's sticker shock to them. They had no idea and I'm just going to talk about cleaning because it's what we do. They had no idea that a cleaning service could cost that much or why it would cost that much or why it makes more money to spend the money with you, more money with you than less money on a cheaper company. So it's your responsibility and job to educate them on that, which is real hard to do if you're coming from a defensive place. Because I have had so many people that have objected to our price and they're genuinely really good people. They do see the value, they just don't understand and they don't know. A tangible tactical tip I'm going to give you, because this really changed things for me, is to literally write a script. Write a script, think of a price objection you get, write a script and write down exactly why you charge more. And more importantly than that, write down the benefit of spending more money to go with a service like yours. Write down what makes you stand out from the competition. Write down things that you offer that other people don't. Like for us, we are bonded, we're insured, we provide all of our own products, we're reliable, we have a full staff. So if somebody gets sick or is out on vacation, we'll always have somebody to send in their place. We have over 100 5-star Google reviews. Maybe did you win best in your county? Do you have a special offer that comes with every recurring service? I don't know, whatever it could be. I can't tell you that. You know for a fact what makes your company stand out, and you want to have those facts written out on an index card. This way, it's right there in front of you. This way, if you're on a sales call, if you're in an in home estimate, you can pull that out and spit the facts and talk fact based, not emotion based. Because again, it's very easy to get upset and get on the defensive and get triggered when people are insulting your prices. It almost feels a little insulting, but you have to take the emotion out of it. If you want to close the sale, take the emotion out of it and just read the facts and change their mind. It's your job as the salesperson to let them know how much they need the service. And I am somebody personally, and a lot of salespeople will disagree with me. I don't like the hard sell. I never want somebody to have buyer's remorse after hopping on the phone with me. So when I say change their mind, I don't mean like swindle them or lie to them or give them something they don't need. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's your responsibility to let them know how going with your service is going to change their life. What is their problem? And how is what you offer going to be the best solution for their problem and fix their needs? And that is your job to do. And it's really easy to do that job when you have something to read off of, have a script, have something there. That is my best advice for you. It was a huge game changer for me. Really helped me because I am an emotional person. I get a little defensive. So it really helped me to not be that way. Now, if you've done your job, if you have sold your value, if you have given them all the information they need and they're still objecting to your price and they just think it's ridiculous or it's out of their budget or whatever the case may be, the next point to remember is that not every client is for you. And I know we talk about this all the time, but in terms of price, it's the same thing. Clients may not be for you for a variety of reasons, but price is one of those reasons. You could have a client and they see the value, they want your service, they know it's good, but they literally can't afford you. That client is not for you. Or maybe there's somebody who, in their mind, they don't understand why cleaning service would be more than $100, let's just say. And they're never going to see the value in that. That's not your client. And that's okay. So easy when you're selling to, we always want more, more, more. We want more. We want more sales, more closes, more new clients. But I want to encourage you to change your mindset about that because more is not always better. If you've never read the book 10x is better than 2x, it's a great book. I believe we did a podcast episode about it. I'm going to have to check that, but I feel like we did one of our book club podcasts about it. But the premise behind the book is that 10x is better than 2x. It's exactly what it says. And you're never going to be able to 10x your company if you're holding on to all of these really low paying clients. It's better to get rid of 10 low paying clients and replace them with one high paying client. And that's a hard concept to grasp at first because, again, we want more, we want bigger, we want better. But if you are lowering your price to get a bunch of really low paying clients who you lowered your price and then you had to set up less time for the job and now you're rushing and you're not doing a good job and you're not standing behind your principles of being an excellent company, then you just took up all of these spots where maybe fewer clients could have gone, but fewer clients who are willing to pay your prices because they see the value, because they can afford it, and because They value other things that you have to offer over the price. Some people value all different things, and that's okay. Some people, when they call, I know for a fact they value price first and foremost. And I'm probably not going to be able to handle that price objection. I'm still going to try. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to try, but I might not be able to handle that price objection or sway them. And that's okay. But then there's other people who do give me the price objection, but I can tell that what they value more based on what they've told me, they really value trust, communication, reliability. And I can tell from my conversation that while they value the price, they value all these other things so much more. So if I can really sell them and guarantee them that you're going to have all of these things that you value more than the price, it's going to be worth the price. And there's some people that you're just not going to be able to. And that's okay because those are not your clients and those clients can go be with somebody else and it's going to be a better fit and that is okay. So all that being said, I kind of want to encourage you to think of no as less of a failure and more of a filtering. Those no's are filtering you for better clients, higher paying clients, clients that will see the value in your offer and that's okay. I'm going to rapid fire recap some of what we covered. The first being never lower your pricing just because of price objection. Don't lower your pricing because of that, because we have done that in the past and it has come back to bite us in the booty. So don't do that. Educate, don't justify. Don't get defensive. Educate, explain why and what you have to offer and why it's so much and where the value comes from instead of just getting defensive and being that little yappy chihuahua, like I said, I used to be. Be confident. That script that we talked about, having index cards ready to go, explaining in a nice, calm, personal way of why your service is so valuable and so worth each and every penny. Write those index cards and speak with confidence because if you don't even believe that what you're selling is worth the price, why would they believe it? Why should they believe it? If you're saying you're pricing in a meek, questioning kind of tone, like the price is going to be 375. Is that okay? No, that's not okay. Why would any but if you firmly say the price is gonna be 375, would you like Tuesday or would you like Wednesday? Bam, there we go. You just sold the value with your tone alone. Not everybody's your client. Protect your energy and normalize no. No is a perfectly acceptable, fine answer. Not everybody is for you. Let those low paying clients that don't understand or see the value in your service go to make room for the new ones. Now, time for homework because you know we love some hustle homework. Those index cards where you're going to spit facts about exactly why your company is worth it and why you charge what you do. Write those down. Just make one of them. Make one of them. Think of what your biggest, even if it's not price. Let's say you're like, I don't get price objections. Again, you're charging too low. But if you don't get price objections, but you get some other objection, write down a little cheat sheet, write down a little index cards and bonus points if you want to DM us and send us your index card. I would absolutely love to see how you handle your price objections and what makes your company special because I know that there's so many special things about your company. And I want you to also realize what's special about your company and why you are so worth every single penny and dime that you charge. All right. I hope this was helpful. I always find these solo episodes really hard because everything I do in life, I do with Holly. So when she's not here, I'm just talking to myself. And I just really wanted to talk about this topic because it's something I personally struggled with for a really long time and still struggle with every now and again. I'm not going to lie. But I think it's a really important topic and I really hope it was helpful. If it was, please reach out to us, let us know. You can always catch us on social media. All of the links will be linked below in this description. And until then, have a kick ass week and we will see you next time.